Dr. Marks, thank you so much for joining us. You've been a supporter of the Drive for Men's Health since the first year that we launched off, and believe it or not, this is our 5th year that we'll be driving across the country. And our main message this year is that we want to add miles to his life, basically 1 mile at a time. So it's pretty cool, pretty unique. Now, you do something very unique in your office, which not many physicians do. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
I do vasectomy reversals, and that's all I do, Monday through Friday.
So when would someone need a vasectomy reversal?
So about 2/3 of the time, it's a man who has a new relationship, a younger bride. She may or may not have had children before, but they want to have kids together. And so they'll seek us out, and then we'll do a reversal for that. About 1/3 of the time, it's the same couple who just for life reasons decide that they want to have kids again.
Now, how intricate is that procedure? Because we hear a lot about vasectomies, very easy, can be done in the office, very little pain. But reversals themselves, I think, can take a little bit longer.
It's one of the most challenging surgeries, and you know that because you're one of the top experts as well. But it's one of those surgeries that you can't do occasionally and be good at it. It's like you don't want to get on a player plane and have the pilot say, I do this twice a year. It's something they need to do all the time. And so the reversal doctors that do it all the time, day after day, get much higher success and far fewer complications than the general doctor who does it a couple times a year.
You bring up a great point about choosing doctors. So when you go online, Google your problem, there's so many different doctors that may show up, either ads or you may have referral sources or other things. Like, how important is it that you choose the right doctor for the problem that you have?
Well, it's critical because the right doctor will give you the highest chance for success, the easiest recovery, the best care, and that means ultimately at the end you're going to have a baby more likely. There are doctors out there that really kind of maybe don't know what they're doing, or doctors that don't do very many, and just because they have a slick website with lots of pictures and babies doesn't mean necessarily they're that good. So you really need to ask the tough questions. Where did you train? How many years have you been a urologist? How many of these reversals do you do a year? How long does it take you? A standard reversal, vasectomy reversal, should take 2.5 hours, maybe 3 if it's challenging. There are some doctors that do them in 45 minutes. I don't know how they do that. And just the same, there are some doctors that can take 7 to 8 hours to do a reversal, which scares me. So you need to ask the tough questions. What kind of aftercare am I going to get? Is it just the surgery and then you're done with me, or you're going to be there with me and continue to make sure that we achieve the goal? Because the goal is not a good reversal. The goal is a baby, unless you're doing it obviously for pain.
Well, and this advice relates to anything, whether you have a cancer or whether you have something small like a kidney stone, or whether you need an intricate procedure like a reversal. You have to kind of know how to find that best doctor.
Right.
But how does a patient go about, like you mentioned, like ask the right questions?
Right.
When is the right time to ask questions? Is it when you make the appointment or when you actually see the doctor?
I think before you even make the appointment, you should start asking the tough questions. And the problem is, if you ask your primary care doctor who I should go to, chances are they're going to refer you to their general urologist down the street. And some people think that it's the guy who's local and most convenient is good, or sometimes they look for the cheapest doctor. But it's not a cost, it's an investment. And sometimes you do have to travel a little bit. I know that we both have patients who travel from quite a distance because they've taken the time to do the research, ask the questions, because they want the best chances for success. You don't want to have to come to one of us to have it done a second or third time because you opted for cheap or convenient when the good guy might have been a little bit further away.
The way I tell my patients, it's like when you go get a car. You go first research it online, then you may go to 1 or 2 dealerships, and then you go with, in the end, I feel you should go with who you feel most comfortable with. Don't worry about the cost. Don't worry about the distance. Go with who you feel like you will have the best relationship, because I honestly think that's going to lead to the best outcomes.
Totally, absolutely. And the thing with the car analogy is perfect, because people don't go and buy the absolute cheapest car they can. They want the extras. And when they're picking a doctor, what do you get for your money? Are you just getting a reversal? And what technique are they using? Are they using some quickie thing that was abandoned in the 80s? Or are they using a more challenging microsurgical technique that takes some time?
So what are your thoughts on all these rating websites? We won't mention them by name, but there's so many on there.
They're really good, but the problem is I just worry about them because even the bad doctors are going to have successes and glowing reviews. It's like that old saying, even a blind squirrel is occasionally going to find an acorn or something. So I trust them a little bit, but every once in a while I had one patient who was annoyed with me, not because they didn't get great care, and they commented they got great care, but they weren't pregnant yet. And it's like, well, pregnancy is a separate process. That takes time. And they just kind of, well, I expected to be pregnant right away. Well, you're not going to get that with a reversal. As you know, we just put you together and we let God, nature, and magic make the babies. If you want it right away, then there's alternative options with IVF ICSI.
So that's great. So Dr. Sheldon, if you had to give 3 tips to guys right now, they're watching this right now, before they can come see one of us or go see their urologist for whatever problem they may have, 3 tips that they can start utilizing at home right now to lead a healthier, more active life where they can get that extra 5 miles in 5 years out of their life.
Okay. So this is easy because this is something we talk about with every reversal patient. It's garbage in, garbage out. So eat a healthy diet. It doesn't mean you have to give up cheeseburgers. It doesn't mean you have to give up French fries with cheesy sauce, which I did for a while. But it's just, occasionally, instead of going crazy on stupid vitamins, have a spinach salad with almond slivers and blackberries and maybe a little bit of salmon
once
in a
kale?
while. Kale is good, but I think spinach is actually better.
Yeah, is it? Okay.
If you read an article once. And if it's written, it must be true. So
that's number 1. Number 2?
Move. Eat less, move more.
Yeah.
It's really simple. We're not saying you have to run out and do marathons, but just, when you park your car, don't spend 20 minutes looking for that close spot. Park further away. When you have the option to use stairs instead of an escalator or an elevator, do the stairs. It's just a little bit of movement is all you have to do. And then just make sure you get sleep and be happy.
Sleep. Everyone's been saying sleep this year.
Sleep.
Such a big emphasis on that. So
Sleep.
I try to get at least, I know the recommendations are 7 hours, I try to get at least 6 hours of sleep at night, and it makes a big difference the next day.
It's huge, because it just interferes with everything. And so that relates to another thing, which is if you have any concerns over possible sleep apnea or obstructive breathing, make sure you see your doctor, get a checkup, because there's so many people who have issues, and it turns out they've got sleep apnea, which is easily treated.
Well, any red lights, any changes, go and see your doctor.
Cool.
Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate
My pleasure.
it.
Nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sheldon Marks, and it's time to drive for Men's Health.
Men's Health!